Hey everyone, I'm Babsa Jr., points to whoever gets the reference. Welcome to my brand new channel. Why did I decide to create a channel, you might or might not wonder? Well, I've been inspired by my husband. Some of you might know him. His name is JK Lids, and his channel is all about FromSoft games. He especially likes doing challenge runs while holding a 7-month-old baby, so go check him out. So yeah, after seeing the fun that he has on creating content, and with Tears of the Kingdom looming, I decided to give it a go myself. I'll be covering mostly Nintendo stuff, such as, well, Tears of the Kingdom gave it away, the Legend of Zelda games, Breath of the Wild, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, but also Kirby, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, just any other game I like. I know there are many channels out there covering these games, but I thought one more couldn't hurt, eh? A bit of background. I started seriously gaming about 5 years ago when I met my now husband to introduce me to Breath of the Wild. Now, I had no idea, I can feel the abuse coming, about the Legend of Zelda games until then. Once I started playing, I was hooked and it was really difficult for me to stop. By that I mean my husband having to drag me to bed at 2 AM because I'd have to work the day after. Needless to say, the Legend of Zelda franchise became my favourite. But enough of me now, let me introduce you to my first ever video, my top 12 Breath of the Wild shrines. Why 12? Well, because I couldn't bring it down to 10. Some of you might agree, some of you might disagree, but these are my personal favourites, so it's very subjective. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, why not give it a like and subscribe. Number 12, Kaam Urog Shrine, Trial of Passage. This shrine has a little quest to get into, involving shooting this statue with glowing eyes at night. Now, considering that shooting with a bow and arrow is one of my favourite things ever, that's why this shrine made it to the list. This is a pretty easy quest overall with a simple solution, but that's not what we're here to talk about. The shrine features what looks like a giant turning hamster wheel that Link needs to navigate his way up to get the spirit orb. Of course, it's not that simple. There's rolling spike balls, or how I dislike those. Needless to say, I've been hit numerous times, and you might even get to see that as we go along. Aren't you lucky? These are also rotating platforms to work around. I love the moving verticality, and even though platforming isn't my favourite at best of times, if you saw me trying to do something that involves platforms, you tell me to give up gaming altogether, trust me. This one, however, had just enough of them without it feeling too frustrating and left me feeling satisfied once I made it to the top to claim that sweet spirit orb. If I had to give one negative, the chest rewards aren't too great, with just a soldier spear and an opal. But I suppose you could apply that to quite a few shrines. Overall, this one felt unique, and that's why I made it to number 12 on our list today. 11. Kamia Omuna Moving Targets. So we got a DLC shrine here. You have to beat a giant Ineotalus. Ineotalus? Igneotalus? I'm Italian, so I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyhow, moving on. So you need to be a giant that to even get in here. I obviously did that first try. Nailed it. Here we have cannons. I don't know why I get overexcited about cannons. Anyhow, these cannons require a bomb to work, but also have a crystal which you need to hit to make them move. Needed sometimes to hit these more difficult moving targets. These are much more challenging to hit with a lot of movement going on, and there's even a motion control puzzle for one of them which you need to angle just right to ensure that your shot gets through. Got to love a motion control. I guess I'm just a big fan of cannons. Who knew? Also, there's a chest which gives you diamond, which is great because I love any shrine that gives you money. Rupees galore. The additional apparatus bit really adds to the overall design. Would I be happy with a longer cannon minigame in Tears of the Kingdom? Did someone say cannons? Number 10. Kihiro Mo Inside the Box. So this is another DLC shrine. It can be a bit tricky getting this one open as you need to sneak an orb out of the Yiga clan hideout without being seen and slaughtered with one hit. Did I feel too confident thinking I could flurry rush it and try to take the Yiga clan while doing this? Yes. Did I get mercilessly slaughtered? Yes. So, once I managed to make it, you throw the orb into a pit, and once you got that sorted, it's time for a puzzle. You'll find 4 rows or slots for some pretty coloured orbs to be placed in, each with a different colour in the row. To find out which slot you need to place the ancient orb in, you have to move this box by turning your controller until you can work out how many are in each. This is a pretty unique puzzle amongst the shrines, and I feel that I really enjoyed figuring this out. I also enjoyed it because the orbs were really pretty. Once you get the right orb in the right slot, you can go through and complete the shrine. But there is actually another puzzle here. If you turn the box just right, you can actually use magnesis to open the bottom of the box and release them all. OMG, a lot of giant colourful orbs. Yes please. You'll see on the right side of the room there is one last smaller orb puzzle. A not so pretty large metal orb is just above this. Plus, there were two inside the big box, so placing an orb in the number 3 slot will get you a tasty thunder sphere. Maybe I'm just a big fan of colour in these games, but I really like this one and its colourful puzzle is enough to get it a place on our list today. Number 9. Harah. This shrine is located at the bottom of an area called Kopiki Drifts in Tampanta Frontier. I'm terrible at pronouncing things, I hope you forgive me. There's not a quest as such, but there are some steps you need to take to open it. Well, one step in fact, rolling a snowball down the right path. There's a pile of small snowballs and about 5 different routes. The snowballs increase in size as they roll. Choose the right one and the snowball smashes these doors open to reveal a shrine. The puzzle inside is in a similar vein, using large balls to open doors. Balls. The first room is simple enough. You just got to drop this ball onto a switch, but the second room makes it a bit trickier as the ball has 2 ropes attached. Did someone say time to use bow and arrows? Oh yeah. Cut both ropes at the same time, stasis helps, and land the ball on the switch to complete the shrine. There's also an additional ball puzzle to get yourself a diamond as a reward, which is great because I love rupees. A fun little game to get into the shrine, followed by a simple momentum based puzzle inside, is what causes this shrine to make my list. Number 8. Rona Kachta, Forgotten Temple. Well, this one is much more about the journey than the actual shrine itself. The actual shrine is just a blessing, but the assault course of stationary guardians you need to get through definitely makes up for that. One thing I love about Breath of the Wild is the times where you have multiple different ways to tackle problems. Here, you could try and stealth it through, you could try and fly through, rushing past them, you could bullet time shoot them in the eyes with arrows, or you could try and parry all the beams back. Pretty easy actually if you have the ancient shield. I tried all of those and I obviously settled for the ancient shield. There's just something so satisfying about just standing there and waiting to be hit, knowing that it reflects back. Mind you, there have been times where I didn't position myself properly and the only satisfied thing was the guardian watching me as I burned. This obstacle course is fun to get through and I really like the look and feel of the Forgotten Temple. When you first enter, it's pretty terrifying to see all those eyes light up and starting charging their beams. If you're anything like me, you'll find yourself mumbling the guardian tune that comes up as soon as they target you, or maybe just me. You need to be quick on your feet to get through. It also feels fitting that you get the final reward for beating all the shrines here with Link's classic gear. Number 7. Bareeda Naag Canon. Yes, canon. This also has a shrine quest, but there's a little bit more to this one. The ancient Rito Song Shrine quest involves hearing some song lyrics from Bedoli in Rito Village. Bedoli only know half of the verse, so you gotta speak to his sister Laisa to learn the rest, but if only you can remember what Bedoli just told you. Now, if you are prone to zoning out and quickly press B to get through the dialogue, you might have some difficulties in memorizing this. Thankfully, I have my husband next to me, who actually pays attention and tells me what the song says. Thank you, husband. The full song now reveals that you must find a pedestal south of Rito Village. When the sun hits the pillar in the center of Rito Village, the hole in the center of it will cast a heart shape on this pedestal. How romantic. Now, we light up a torch or a bonfire and echo! The shrine appears. Now you think, this will maybe be just a reward shrine, but the fun does not stop here. It's time to play with cannons. Yes, cannons. It's pretty straightforward puzzle. Fire the cannon with a bomb at the right time to hit the target, but landing that perfect shot through the moving platforms is so satisfying. There's even a bonus harder cannon puzzle which will net you a diamond if you complete it. The simplicity of this puzzle makes it a lot of fun, and I like the quirky shrine quest riddle leading into it. Who doesn't love cannons and precision timings? And cannons. Number 6. Katosa Apparatus. So this is, I guess, the Breath of the Wild equivalent of mini-golf. The Apparatus puzzles sometimes tend to be a bit hit and miss with how they're executed, but this one I think works really well. You control the hammer and you need to knock the orb into the slot. The one to complete the shrine is a straight path, so here is a matter of just setting the ball with the right amount of power. Too little and it won't make it, too much and it will fly on the edge. Do you wanna have a guess how many times I use way too much power? The real challenge though is the bonus puzzle behind the spirit orb. Here it involves hitting the orb up along a slope in a circular motion to land in the slot. Obviously I got it first try because I'm an absolute incredibly Breath of the Wild player, but I can imagine this could be pretty challenging getting the power just right. The reward is a great frost blade. I always find it useful to keep frost and flame weapons in stock for those changing temperatures around the world. A fun little puzzle and good shrine experience overall. Number 5. Kaam Yatak Trial of Power. This shrine has to be one of the longest in the game. There are 5 chests here and a variety of different puzzles, most involving stasis or magnesis. We've got smashing a border into a door, then the border smashing you because you didn't do the standard thing but decided to do it your way. Dodging spiked boulders, did I mention earlier getting hit by those? Guardian scouts, burning a wooden platform, bring on bow and arrow, steadying a tilting platform, a return of our beloved hammer motion control device, using a seesaw to launch a boulder, using stasis on this thing to smash open a door, and finally launching ourselves up to make it to the spirit orb. Did you follow all that? Because I didn't. This shrine is almost like a dungeon within itself and I absolutely love it. It's funny because it's such an unassuming location in Hyrule Field. There's a great variety of loot in here, including some cool swords, an ancient core and of course money. This time in the form of a silver rupee and a diamond. What more could you want? All in all, a great shrine and one I always look forward to coming back for the sheer variety and rewards. Number 4. Joloo Apparatus. Well, we got another shrine quest with this one. You got to beat some Gorons in a test of hit endurance. As much as that might seem impossible because these guys live inside a volcano. This can be achieved with the right armor or elixir drunk just beforehand. By demonstrating he has the ultimate endurance, you can't help but giggle at the faces he pulls through this, Link causes the shrine to appear. But the trials aren't over yet. The shrine has a whopping 3 motion control apparatus puzzles. Try and say that 5 times faster. Each with a different theme. We got electricity to complete a circuit, we got wind to blow 4 fan switches, and we got some torches that need to be lit by fire while not accidentally dousing them with water. This is an excellent use of different apparatus puzzles, all in one shrine. This easily could have 3 separate shrines, but they decided to give us a really solid 3-room shrine, which I really enjoyed completing. Motion controls in Zelda don't always mesh well, but I think this shrine does a great job and presents a decent challenge with each room requiring both thought and precision to complete. Number 3. Kiah, Toza Master the Orb. Another DLC shrine. This one requires shield surfing to get it open, and who doesn't love that? But the fun doesn't stop there. The puzzle in this shrine involves creating a path for this orb to roll down using a combination of magnesis, stasis and cryonis. We've seen versions of these done in some other shrines in the game, but none do it quite as well as this one for my money. There's also switches on the ground which change the direction of the conveyor belts, as well as one that activates a launcher at the end of the orb's journey. This one is fun to navigate and really makes you plan out your strategy before rolling the ball down to avoid any wasted time or motion. It did take me a few tries to get it, mostly because I would be run over by the orb. But once you do, seeing that ball head down the path smoothly is pretty satisfying. My only gripe would be that the Falcon Bow bonus chest isn't that great, but the fun puzzle more than makes up for it. Definitely the best iteration of this puzzle in the game. Number 2. Katoh Wawai. I love saying Wawai. Wawai. Anyway, Katoh Wawai Dark Ruins Trial. As much as the Trials of the Sword version of this gave me PTSD, I really enjoyed this darkness puzzle. It's pretty straightforward when you think about it. There's an orb around the blue Inox neck that needs to go into the usual slot. But getting this from the Inox in the dark is a lot more challenge. You can try the method of getting on its hand and letting it put you onto its chest, but it can be tricky to pull off, trust me, I've tried. If you stocked up enough on good bows, you can bring this thing down pretty quickly, or alternatively, you can still see its eye in the dark, which is helpful. Or you can try and sneak up to it and slaughter it while it's still asleep. I like the mystery surrounding this shrine, as you just see this dark forest in the distance and head for it before getting sucked down into its pitch black. There are torches around to light your way, but definitely can throw you off upon your first entry into this area. I found it really fun, and not gonna lie, killing these Inox quickly in the dark brought a big smile to my face. Number 1. Korgu Chideh, Eventide Island. Our number 1 spot and my favourite shrine is Eventide Island. The concept is simple. You enter the island and lose all of your items, meaning you must survive using only what you can find on the island. It would help if you didn't get blown up by a bomb barrel when trying to kill the first bunch of enemies. They fleshed out this concept more in Trials of the Sword, but this was a great introduction to it. You got 3 orbs you need to get into the 3 slots around the island. One is guarded on a ledge by some bokoblins, one is around at Inox's neck, of course, and one is at the top of a mountain guarded by bokoblins and a moblin, with some choo-choos as well. Your defense would be mostly pretty low here, so strategy is really important in how you tackle each of these challenges. How many times have I mentioned now that bow and arrows are my favourite? Well, here they will definitely be your best friend. Fighting the Inox with weak weapons that break easily is far from a good time, so the crawl onto the ant strategy might be the best shout here. Making it past all these enemies and getting this final orb into place was one of the most satisfying moments of my initial Breath of the Wild playthrough, and as such solidifies this as my favourite shrine in the game. So that's it! Those are my favourite Breath of the Wild shrines. What about you? Any of those made your list? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching. Ciao for now!